start this first segment off with a trivia question. Whose record did Felix Hernandez break for strikeouts by a Venezuelan-born pitcher? Once again, whose record did Felix Hernandez break for strikeouts by a Venezuelan-born pitcher? Now, I'll give you the answer after this segment. But nevertheless, both Nelson Cruz and the Seattle Mariners and Felix Hernandez, for that matter, are in uncharted territory. They've begun the season slow, but then they've really picked it up as of late. And Felix Hernandez has absolutely been on fire. I'm talking like blazing hot. Nelson Cruz crushed his major league leading 14th home run. And Felix Hernandez remained unbeaten on the season as the Mariners snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 3-2 victory over the LA Angels in Monday night's series opener. Now, the Mariners are in Los Angeles this week taking on the Angels and in a very important series. Out west, we'll get to Houston later, but I mean, Houston's they're just doing something nobody would have guessed right now. We'll get to them in a little bit, but the West remains a very, very volatile division, and teams are this is going to be a knockdown, drag out all year long. So this series is important for both the Angels and the Mariners, but Felix is off to the first 5-0 start of his career as he outdueled the Angels, specifically outdueled right-hander Matt Shoemaker in that game, allowing just 1 run on 6 hits over 7 innings to lower his ERA to a very impressive 1.73. The Mariners are 6-0 when Hernandez starts and 5-15 in the rest of their games. So Felix Hernandez starting the season in uncharted territory. He's never started a season at 5-0 ever in his career, and he is just blazing, just molten hot right now coming out the gate. Lloyd McClendon, the Mariners manager, said of Hernandez that's a true number one of his ace, and that's what they're built for. That's what they're made for, and he certainly did a heck of a job. I agree. Hernandez has just been on fire. He's built to play these kinds of games. I mean, the movement on that guy's ball. I mean, he's got more movement in his ball than Michael Jackson has in his knees. I'm just telling you, Felix Hernandez is everything as advertised, and he's always been that way. I had the pleasure of watching him play live back when I lived in Seattle, and I'm telling you, I mean, this could be the year of Felix Hernandez. On the other side, Shoemaker of the Angels carried a 1-hit shutout into the 7th, so he wasn't doing too bad himself, but he turned around and surrendered a solo shot to Nelson Cruz and another one to Logan Morrison in that same inning, and another to Seth Smith an inning later in the 8th. Shoemaker allowed 3 runs total on 4 hits and struck out 10 in 7 1/3. He's now 2-2 with a 5.4 ERA. The loss was the 4th straight for the Angels, who are tied for second with Seattle in the American League West at 11-15. Now, the catch to this is both remain 7 behind the Astros. 7 games behind the Astros. Who in the world would have put any money on that whatsoever at the beginning of the season? I certainly wouldn't have. I don't know anybody who would have. I've got a few friends who might have, just as a dare type bet, but it wouldn't have been a very intelligent bet at the beginning of the season. But right now the Astros are laughing all the way to the bank. David Freese homered off Mariners closer Fernando Rodney, who's been on and off, but he's been solid. With 1 out in the 9th, and Matt Joyce drew a 2-out walk, but Rodney picked up his 8th save regardless when pinch runner Colin Cowgill was caught stealing. The game ended on a steal. So Felix Hernandez starting the season in uncharted territory with a 5-0 record, 1.73 ERA. He's started 6 games. All of his appearances coming in that. He has 1 shutout and a complete game. Now, to answer the trivia question, whose record did Felix Hernandez break for strikeouts by a Venezuelan-born pitcher? Well, I'm going to let you sit on that for a second. We're going to take a quick break, and I'll have the answer right after this. We'll be back with more on The Week in Baseball.
Those memories, but could you pitch in a former life?
Well, some guy cut my arm off. Some guy with a beard and a brown robe, he cut my arm off, so that was the last time I pitched.
The lightsaber skills, though, still on point. Listen, the Stormtroopers taking in a game at Fenway Park, so it looks like a whole list of events going on right now. You're a busy guy. Father's Day next month. Got any plans?
I expect to get Father of the Year award. I cut my son.
There you have it, Darth Vader from Fenway Park. May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. That was, the other day. But just thought that was a funny little interview to throw in here on The Week in Baseball. That's one of the happenings, Darth Vader doing the interview surrounded by stormtroopers representing the New York Yankees in their series against their rivals, the Boston Red Sox. So Darth Vader claiming, to be the best father in the world this past week. Just thought, that was definitely baseball news worthy, ladies and gentlemen. So anyhow, back to the show. Now to answer the trivia question, whose record did Felix Hernandez break for strikeouts by a Venezuelan-born pitcher? Well, that none other than Johan Santana. Johan Santana ended his career with 1,988 strikeouts. Well, Felix Hernandez, congratulations. He's surpassed Johan Santana's mark. Wow. What a career this guy is putting together. And what a season this guy's putting together. Starting 5-0. He's never seen that before. He's never been in that territory. So, Felix Hernandez in uncharted territory right now. Now, over at facebook.com/BGJ show, you can pick up a couple of articles that we posted. The first one on Ron Ronick, the Brewers manager that was fired last week. You can go there and read all about it. There's some good ESPN writing there, to put the firing into context. one of the, I suppose, the biggest claim being that simply firing the manager is not going to fix the Brewers. So go on over to facebook.com/BGJ show and check out that article. Another one as well was, this past over the weekend, 2 games, not just one, 2 games ended with runners hit on base path. Now, it's been 5 years, I believe, since 1 game ended with runners being hit on the base path, but 2 over the weekend happened in the same day, and the conspiracy theory doesn't end there. Both involved teams from Los Angeles, the Dodgers and the Angels. You can read about that article as well over at facebook.com/BGJ show, or you can go straight on over to thinkslinger.org and look up the article. You're out of here. Games end with runners hit on the base path. So, on to the Houston Astros. And any good pitcher can use some stellar defense. Just ask the Astros starter, Dallas Keuchel, who benefited from a couple of terrific plays made behind him in Monday's 2-1 loss to the Rangers, one by Jose Altuve and one by George Springer. All-star second baseman Altuve bailed out Keuchel with the Astros leading 1-0 in the 5th inning when he made just an absolutely terrific barehanded grab and throw to retire the speedy Adam Rosales at first base for the second out of the inning. Keuchel, who won a Gold Glove last year, tried to reach up and field Rosales' chopper, and he got enough of his hand on it to slow it down. Now, Altuve charged onto the infield grass and picked up the ball with his right hand and whipped it to Chris Carter at first. Rangers manager Jeff Bannister challenged the play, but replay confirmed that the ball settled into Carter's glove an absolute instant, less than a blink of an eye before Rosales hit the bag. Just an inning later, right fielder Springer slid on his back as he crossed the foul line to snag a ball off the bat of Jake Smolinski, catching the ball right as he collided with the wall. He just slid right into the wall and just bam! Nailed it, but he still caught the ball. It was the second amazing catch Springer has made against the Rangers this year alone. Now, the Astros are just off to a phenomenal start, and these are the kinds of plays that they're making. These non-routine, just out of this world, type play. Also the teams put a lot on Dallas Keuchel's back. Who did get the loss, but nevertheless, the Houston Astros are just absolutely on fire this year. I can't believe that they hold a 7-game lead. It might be 8 by now, by the time this broadcast gets to you. But nevertheless, they're just way out in front in the West, and it's going to take a lot of work for Seattle or even the A's or the LA Angels to catch them. Not counting out the Rangers just yet, because this baseball season has been absolutely unpredictable so far. But Houston out in the lead. Now, over in St. Louis has been on a bit of a streak lately. The Wild first sets a tone as the Cards outslugged the Cubs the other day. Following a trio of walk-off wins over the weekend, the Cardinals rolled their winning streak to 7 as of now by erasing an early 5-run deficit and snatching a 10-9 victory from the Cubs in Monday's series opener at Busch Stadium. So the Cardinals, they're going at it like cats and dogs this week. Look for that. This is a very important series to look at this week. If you live in those markets, of course, you're going to watch those games. But if you have the MLB TV or if you have extra innings, be sure to tune into those games. These are going to be absolutely just entertaining. These are just going to be great contests. Speaking of comebacks, last week the Washington Nationals came back and